morning, everyone, and welcome to Talking Horses, day 4 here in Saratoga. She is Sarah Albadwi. I am Andy Serling. And I'm telling you, Sarah, it's going to be a good day because as I walked around the bend and got here, one of my absolute favorite songs on the entire planet, Ticket to Ride, was playing from the Beatles. They were playing a lot of Beatles, which I know Johnny
Seems like
Cacamise
Beatles
liked as
revival
well.
going on.
It was great. I mean,
Yeah.
I love the Beatles, love hearing, but Ticket to Ride, I don't know why. It's just always been one of
That's the
my
one.
absolute favorites. A great song.
Would you say it's the favorite of the Beatles songs?
No, I have a lot of Beatles songs I like, but
Yeah.
but Ticket to
up there.
Ride is up there. What I've Got a Feeling is up there. I've Got a Feeling is strong. I've seen Pearl Jam play I've Got a Feeling as well. Anyway, enough of that drivel. We are fast, and Sarah and I were both commenting how remarkable it is we're fast. The turf is listed as yielding. We did have, we have to get a couple of storms
Monsoon.
in every day. And I want to thank Ron Anderson, by the way, for leaving me outside in the rain. I'll be right back, Ron. I got a feeling, Ron, if I hadn't finally gone home 7 minutes later, I'd still be standing out in front of the track. But that's okay. It's the thought that counts. Anyway, it's not that I'm bitter about it. It is what it is.
I left early before I could bring you guys umbrellas.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
No, I had an umbrella.
Okay. So you came prepared.
I'm a man. I had John Cacamise guarding my umbrella all day.
Oh, good. An umbrella
proud,
and an
but
umbrella guard.
I was particularly happy that I had one and Tom Amos did not. Anyway, listen, it is what it is. The weather's tough, and I get it. And we appreciate the support of the fans, and we understand your disappointment. And we're disappointed, too. See how the tourist courses are. Hopefully we can get a break at some point in the weather. We'll see. It's still great to be in Saratoga, and it's even greater to be on Naira Bets. So head over to Naira Bets. I don't know if it's greater, but it's good. Spot 200 will match the $200 of your initial deposit. We have 30% bonus if you hit the pick 3 at Saratoga and or Monmouth. You get a $20 bonus. It's either 20 or 30%. So I don't know. But the details are available at nairabets.com, where you'll be opting in as well for this one. We got all sorts of stuff going on today. Eddie 2 at Monmouth, 3 here for the cross-country pick 5. We've got Saratoga Con. What could go wrong here? Bar hop at the spa. It's I think you have to pay a certain amount, and you get to have one drink at 4 spots. So Saratoga Con. But if you dress as Santa, please, I hope I don't see you. What else do we have? We have the Taste of New York Pavilion. Always a fun spot. Located by Gate A in the Family Zone. A lot of good stuff going on there. Always fun to check out. A lot of products from New York State. And we have, unfortunately, a YouTube interruption. 1 to 2:30 FS1, 5 to 6:30 in FS2. The two and a half hours in the middle will be on YouTube, the Naira YouTube channel. Been through this. We get it. We get your frustration with this. Understood. Agreed. But nonetheless, head over to YouTube. Go to YouTube. Obviously, don't get to youtube.com and just put it in the Naira website. You can find Naira site. You can find it in seconds. Even I can do it. And if I can do it, anyone can do it. Race
That's the
number
truth.
1, Chillax, who is the heavy favorite here. And I flirted with other horses in here, and I just wanted to show the start of the race. I mean, this horse really had just a mediocre trip. Was out in the middle of the racetrack. I don't really know what Junior could have done from that post. And I don't love the hang job. I'm not going to argue with you. Horse that won came back and has run well in subsequent starts. And at the end of the day, I just think this horse may be too good for these.
As much as he was wide in this race and did not ever get the benefit of saving ground, I thought that the race before that at Keeneland was a nice trip for him where he wasn't bet that day, but was able to save all the ground in there and still could not go by. And that was a hang job as well. I know it was a race that was dominated forwards. This one was, but he just doesn't seem like the type that really wants to push by other horses. And
That's
I
fair.
felt as though he had things really go his own way in that start 2 back, up against it a little bit more last time. But I thought at the short price that I just wanted somebody else with a little bit more upside potential.
Okay, go ahead.
I like Classis coming in here as a horse that showed more speed in his last start, coming back as a 3-year-old now, and I don't have any problems with the distance for him. And he didn't have the best of starts first time out. He wasn't the one that was bet more heavily, that was uncaged that day, and he was sharp out of the gate
Are you
second
sure?
time. Yeah,
Okay.
ever so slightly.
Okay.
Neither of them were favored.
Yeah, for some reason I thought it caged like 5 to 1. I'm sure.
He was.
Obviously, you're right.
Yeah, he
Well,
was, and Classis was 3.45.
It was 3 to 1. He was
Yeah.
bet more. I thought you said he was. I thought I'm confused. I thought you said he wasn't the
I
one
don't
that was
even
bet.
remember what I said.
I thought
honestly,
you said
but
he wasn't the one
agree
that
with
was
you
bet.
he-
I thought you
It's
said
Sunday. I don't know what I said.
Okay,
but what I meant to say was that he was the one that he was bet.
Okay, I may have misheard you.
But I also could have been totally wrong. It's
Okay, anyway, go ahead.
Regardless, with him, yes, the race did came back pretty fast, and we haven't seen who Uncaged really is. Then in his second start, he's running against Sovereignty, he's running against Prater, and while Prater has yet to run back to a number like the one that he ran in that maiden race that he won, I think we all know what Sovereignty's going to
Yeah,
do.
I think the other thing about his last race is he was off the rail, and the rail was the place to be, and even Sovereignty before angling out in the stretch spent the entire race in the rail, and I have absolutely no problem with all of those things, but I have a problem with that barn. That barn
barn?
is on my list of they need to start winning some races. And Todd Fletcher's won a lot of races in Saratoga and many racetracks, but he's 0 for 12 so far this weekend. He is 3 for 42 in the 11 day or 12 days that we have run in Saratoga so far. And frankly, his horses aren't running very well. And some have been off layoffs and they haven't shown up and run particularly well. So that bothers me a little bit. You know, for a guy who wins, they're just not. I mean,
It's worth paying attention to
yeah,
as we go on.
and I was
Certainly.
originally going to pick this horse, and I agree with your logic on the horse, and I think from a straight handicapping standpoint, you know, he's running figures that are close to the 3 last year, so routine improvement. I was going to take him, I really was, but then I started looking at the barn numbers, and I thought, listen, I'm taking a horse that's a short price. He's not going to be a big price either. I want to see that barn start winning races before I start taking their horses, especially at under 3 to 1.
Well,
I
look,
don't
it's
mind at 8 to 1.
Sure,
I'll bet
but
anybody.
it's a fair point. He's going to be the second choice, and I think it's worth paying attention to who is starting this meet off hot, and that can change as we go on. But if somebody's coming in that you expect them to be a certain way starting out, and the prices that those horses are, it's worth at least taking note of.
But let me just say, it's not just this meet. I mean, overall, over the last 3 months, he is 28 for 151, which isn't bad. It's 19%. The ROI is pretty low, though. It's $1.17. So the numbers lately have just not been very good, and that's my bigger thing, and that's going to come up in a couple of situations today. And I just want to stay away. Listen, I'm not going to be shocked when he wins, and I do have a thing for secured lender, and I actually don't think he ran that badly, being out in the middle of the track last time, and I thought he ran pretty well. But I
don't know how
ended
far
up
he wants to
focusing.
go.
What's that?
I don't know how far he wants to go.
Well, we'll find out today. I don't know any far some want to go. Listen, I'm not sure sturdy is impossible in this race as well. I just ultimately decided to play against the 4. We'll see, though. You may well be on the right side of this argument. Race number 2. Bunch of scratches in here. Obviously, I don't think anybody had any trouble looking at this race and realizing the race was going to be 6, 8, 9, 1A in all likelihood. You have taken the 8 Table Flirt on top.
Who you don't really like much in here, and this horse is.
It's not that I don't like much. The 6, 8, and 9, the 1A, 6, 8 can all win this race. Frankly, I won't even fall to my chair if Tom Amos wins this race. I don't have a lot of love, and I don't think you really love somebody in here.
No, I don't think this is the type of race, and we'll see a couple of these on today's card where I have a super strong opinion that this is a horse that I'm absolutely in love with, going to be some sort of superstar in this race. I just thought that she'd been facing some tougher horses overall. I thought she ran well in that last start where you did want to be forward. I think that Limes Don't Lie is going to be a decent one for Chad Brown. Was up against it a little bit as a horse that was coming from further back in that last start.
You think Limes Don't Lie is going to be a good horse?
Decent relative to this field.
You know, you've probably asked Mike Dove. He might let you buy in for a share
yeah?
at this point. I'm not sure what the price.
Do you think it would
will
be
on him.
0.0001?
Yeah, right. I'm there on that.
Because I can afford that.
I'm with you, right? I'm with you on that.
Looking at her, she ran well against Shred the Gnar when she was running at Churchill. I think that she's one that's shown that she's certainly capable of handling the surface. I like that she was a little bit more engaged in those last 2 starts, even though she was well beaten 2 starts back. I just really couldn't make the big, strong case for somebody else.
She's fine. I'm not going to be surprised she wins. She's one of the major players. She's a favorite in this race, and I don't have a real problem with that. You know, I'm laughing. You should say you only really want to buy in if Sal is. I don't know if Sal has part ownership. Well, Sal has part ownership pretty much every horse.
I would buy into
just
Slumber,
to
but I
be
think
an
it's a little too late for that one.
opportunity to be partners with Sal is like that should be like a dream date. Win a partnership with Sal. Bryland is probably the speed in here.
Yeah.
You know, the funny thing about Bryland is Bryland was fortunate to break her maiden first time out. Now, to be fair, she still ran a 77 buyer, the second horse, the Phil Bauer. This is one. Remember, after the race is over, I saw Chad and I said something that was winning. He said, "Yeah, I was lucky. Like the second horse should have absolutely won this race," and he was right. But she still ran pretty well. But I mean, she was awful last time.
She was, and she was bet last time, and she was extremely disappointing. But then looking at this field, I just think that she's going to be in front.
No, she can wire the field. I've got her second. I'm not, you know, that's why I'm saying to you, I don't. You say you don't really like the 8. I don't. I'm not going to make.
There's only 4
Yeah,
ways to
well,
go. So
I'm going to give Donor Advise one more chance. I mean, this was a horse that they loved. Chad really liked this horse before she ran. She ran to Shred the Gnar Portia the Nar, we haven't seen her since she was scratched in the Acorn, have we?
Yeah,
She'll
I'm
find
looking
out where
forward
she
to
is.
wherever she is and whenever we
She's
might
a
see her
good
back.
horse.
Yeah.
And she did kind of tear the frog in her foot the second start, which may have contributed to it. Now, listen, her last race was bad. I don't know how hard you watch a lot of replays. I don't know how hard you watched it. It really looked to me like she was struggling. I don't know if it was kickback. As you know, I'm not a guy who likes to use kickbacks as an excuse. I think it is way overused in general. I'm not saying it doesn't have some validity at times, but she really, for some reason, she just did not run at all. And I
No.
wonder if now breaking a smaller field on the outside, she's just kind of sort of be in the clear more and run back to her good race. And I think she's one that has real potential. But to be fair, her last race was kind of a disaster.
I just wasn't impressed with that last effort. She just never seemed to
She's
be
awful.
involved at any point. And for a horse that had shown the speed going in her first start and even in that mile and an eighth race, two back, to just never really get involved whatsoever, that was a little bit
It
disappointing.
was weird. It really was. And you're watching. I was watching it again this morning, and I mean, I remember when they ran it, but she was really struggling. So hopefully she'll run better. And she looked to me like a horse that might sort of disappear. You know what I mean? Like something went wrong. And she is back, which is usually a good sign. We'll see what happens in race number 2. Race number 3, I don't think there's going to be a lot of discussion. And if you want to go against the outside 2 in this race, good luck. You'll get paid. But in reality, the 2 horse on the outside, I was going to pick Adventurous, but once again, this is another horse that I flip-flopped because of the Barnes numbers recently.
Which is completely understandable. And looking at this field, it's not as though anybody has really shown that they, one, have speed, two, can run at all.
Pace Protector has a 6 in front. That's how little
Which is
speed is shown in this race, and
Telling
I
you
imagine
something
Luis will be
big,
going.
and he should, because nobody else has really shown
It's
that they are
crazy.
going to be in his way early on in here. And
No, I'm sorry, the 7 is in front.
Oh,
I
okay.
apologize for that. Now, whether or not he
Well,
is in
we'll
front,
see.
that's even more incredible when you look at this horse, right? Might be
Yeah.
pretty incredible with either one of them.
I look at a race like this, and this is the type of race where I would love to pick anybody else, but I just couldn't find that case to say that small change Jeep is going to suddenly take to the dirt and be able to beat a horse like Adventurous, who's run against some tougher horses. An article towards the outside, he's just shown no forward position at all.
Well, they are who they are. The Adventurers, Todd Pletcher has good numbers, made special, made claiming races, Turf to Dirt, Saratoga, small sample size, good numbers. So he does seem to win with these horses, and that was kind of what led me to originally like him. And then I thought, I don't need an even money shot from this barn right now. And it's just, I imagine that things will improve. They will. He's, one of the all-time great trainers. But having said that, right now they're a little cold. As far as article, I can't sit here and defend this horse, but I mean, you've got the 4 second. Okay, this horse is all turf breeding and has never lifted a hoof at 1,000,000 to 1. Now, I know this field is a joke, and I've got him 4th, so I'm not exactly greatly disagreeing with you.
That's the thing.
I-
Who's
something
trying
new.
something
Yeah,
new?
that's fine.
Something new where he is getting a little bit more class relief. He's trying this surface for the first time. He's at least gone 2 routes of ground while it has been on the grass. He's done no running at all. Something
Barely.
new. Something
Barely
new.
got to whatever. I'm not going to. There's no horse in this race that. I mean, Belmont Union is the obvious other horse for what it's worth. For what it's worth, that barn is 0 for 27 the last 5 years at Saratoga, with 5 hitting the board. Race number 4 off the turf. I thought this was an interesting race. So, how did you end up on the same horse as I did here?
I actually liked her first time out where she didn't do much running whatsoever, but I thought that race, she didn't have the best of starts from there and just really never really got involved in that race. Once she had that start, she was a little bit more forward, but then just faded out of there. And I thought that, yes, it is a lot more turf pedigree, but there is the one half sibling that was capable of handling the dirt. That won a quality road while she's an American Pharaoh. But I just thought that this was a horse that had shown a little bit of position first time out, was able to overcome something in there, and then she just seemed like one that she got tired late in that spot. So I also thought that number 4, Sugar Rush, she was going to be bet off of what is a line that where it says bumped at the break and stumbled. She didn't really have that much trouble at the start of that race
Weird.
whatsoever.
It's weird, right? I agree.
She kind of like got out a
Yeah,
little
she
bit
had like
slowly
a
and then
mild bobble after it.
Yeah.
The weirder part was the way she dropped out of the race after the speed that she showed first time. That was the more disconcerting thing. I
Right.
agree completely with you. I didn't see it And I put it this way: I think what you're saying, and
I
I
was
agree, is
expecting
that
more.
right, not enough happened for, and the way she had so much speed first time out, and then she just,
Especially on the
I mean, she
turf.
lost contact with the field.
She was
She
nowhere.
did make a little bit of
Maybe
a
she didn't
run.
handle the wet track, but I just thought that she might be one that she has the dirt race at least, and she might get bet stretching out, but I could be totally wrong about
She's
that.
not impossible here. I disagree slightly with Cleopatra Ski. I didn't think she had a bad start. I think she actually had speed, which was interesting. I mean, she was 5 wide in the first turn, 4 wide the rest of the turn, 3 and 4 wide the second turn. Junior totally wrapped up on her once she was beaten. She didn't have to lose by that much, as she said. Well, and you say about the half to is Pride's Crossing, who's entered on Friday. Yeah, it's Friday. Hang on a second. I have Pride's Crossing right here. She's entered in the stake. She's entered in the Shoe V on Friday, and she's a horse that's run 85 and 82 buyers recently. She's an OXO horse, and the second dam is all dirt. I mean, I agree.
Yeah.
The first dam's dirt, but the second dam is all dirt. And my feeling with her was, I was going to bet her today. I really liked her. I thought she was a really interesting. She was the horse I was most interested kind of in playing all day on the turf, and I thought, you know what? Why the hell not bet a few dollars on her on the dirt? Because, like, who am I supposed to take? Okay, we're going to use the Linda Rice horse second-time starter.
This horse did no running.
But we've seen Linda's horses do no running first time out,
Oh,
and then just be
sure.
completely different the second time out. I don't disagree. This horse was bad. She was struggling,
Didn't
and
draft that well. I wasn't
but
bet.
we've seen a lot of Linda horses first time out that
Sure.
want to jump over the fence and go on a Ferris
She's not a
wheel, and they
first
still
time
win.
out type of trader.
Right.
That's absolutely fair. I just thought that as the main track only entrant, this was also one. Yes, people are going to gravitate towards this horse, and I just didn't see anything particularly special about this race to say, oh, this horse is definitely going to win.
I'll tell you a horse. I think it's interesting Chad leaves Scarlet's Halo in, but for me, I'm not going to be shocked if she wins. I thought she was a horse to beat on the turf, but she's going to get bet.
She is.
And so I think you're supposed to direct your play against her. She may beat you, but I think you're supposed to let her beat you in this race because she's going to be bet for the wrong reasons in here. I'll tell you the horse I think is very interesting in this race.
The 9.
The 9. This is a horse with these connections is not going to get bet. You've got a rider change to Ricardo Santana, with no disrespect, but he is a better rider than this horse's riders in dirt races. And I certainly don't want to knock Wesley Henry, who's been putting in the work for many, many years. Having said that, this horse's last race is fast enough to win this race, and I think this horse, if this was like connections didn't mean anything, and this horse getting a rider, this horse could be like 4-1 in here or 3-1, right?
Where did that race come from? And does this horse
Well, the
want more
first race
distance?
isn't that bad.
No, but it's not a 71 standout above this field kind of race.
But it's not. It's really not even that bad.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
just the horse's first start and improved a little bit. I don't know.
Okay,
I'm not
yeah,
in love
I
with
hear
the
ya.
horse, but I'm not in love with this horse. But I won't be surprised if this horse is 12 to 15 to 1, and I don't think that she should be. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's a fair point for sure.
If she's 5 to
because-
1, I'm not particularly interested. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not making a big case that I want to bet her. I think she
No, but
wants
I
to get
think
too
this
big a
is
price.
a horse that will fly a little bit under the radar.
You would think. But I actually thought this was fairly interesting. Sorry it came off, but I thought
Even
that
the
was,
one has a race to go back to that
I agree.
works.
I agree. I always root for Eddie Pringle, but this horse is going to beat me. And you know what? So you went. I'm surprised. I didn't realize you picked Sugar Run second because I agree. Your philosophy to me was I want to bet against this horse. So I was then, and I want to bet against her too in here. I
I
don't
just think
trust
the
her
wet
getting.
track might have been the
Yeah,
situation.
I don't
with
trust
her,
her getting a
but-
mile.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
the other problem. But I get the argument for her. I don't want to be too hard. I just didn't really like her.
I just hope that some of that
Race
speed comes back.
Number 5. Well, listen, Amundson's the horse to beat, and one of the things is I think I've been guilty of it. I know you've been guilty of it. We try to be wise guys. We want to bet against this horse, and the old pro just keeps rolling along. I mean, and I'll tell you something. This is a great example of the arbitrary nature of our 10-year-olds can't race in New York thing. 10-year-olds are not the concern. They got to 10 because they know how to protect themselves. And this is a 9-year-old horse. He may not be quite as good as he was at his peak. He's pretty damn good, this horse. I mean, his consistency, his figures. He's one of the more admirable race horses racing, isn't he?
And the age is not the issue here. And I think with so many
Age is
different
not an issue, Sarah.
variables, not for me apparently with Amundsen, but that's about it.
Not for me either.
All right, good.
Go ahead,
Good to know.
sorry.
But looking at him with the kind of resume that he's been able to put together, it's so frustrating, I feel, when you have these variables that aren't looked at on a horse-by-horse type of basis that they should be, and he's doing just fine with the kind of running that he's been able to do. So I agree with you there. I don't really think he's going to be as far back as the pace projector projects him
Yeah,
to
you don't
be.
have him second to last there either?
I don't. Isn't that kind of weird?
The pace projector was Clancy's until 3 a.m. that night and
I
putting
was a
that one
little
together.
bit surprised at this pace projector. I'll say that.
I had some issues with it myself.
All right, I'm glad
They
we.
have a
I'm
slow.
glad we agree
They
there.
have a slow pace, and they have him sitting second to last. Listen, anything's possible, but I don't even think Tom Amos would agree with that. Would agree with that, and he's never gotten a pace
Oh,
correct.
Tom Amos, you and I all agreeing in the same.
No,
thing? Wow.
Tom's.
Look, he's the horse to
Gotta
beat
work
it
with
here.
Tom
He's
on
been
that.
in great form recently. He's one that can kind of come in and out of that good form. I just had a little bit of a crazy idea with the number 5, who is coming over here with the connections, who have had some success at big prices on this circuit, and he's one that if you go to his races 2 and 3 back, they fit here, and he's not going to be that far away.
They are connections are 4 for 8 at Naira in recent times, and with a big ROI. I get it. I looked at the horse. I've got him third. I mean, I saw the same things you did. I don't think he's good enough. That's my biggest problem. I wish he had races good enough, but I agree. I'm not letting this guy beat me at a big price. So I'm with you. This trainer
Dylan
is too
Davis
sharp
picks up the
shipping here.
mount.
I got no problem with this horse. I agree. This horse is the kind of horse I want to use. How much I love him, I don't know. I went to Paxational. I wasn't going to, but these Sandy Goldfarb, Brad Cox horses don't do well off the claim. And I was a little disappointed in his effort last time, but the more I thought about it is,
Aren't those so
he
much
was
better
running
horses?
against a better field last time out, and
Yeah.
he ran well enough to compete here, unless Amundsen runs his race. And there's a part of me that just has such admiration for Amundsen. I want to see him do well out here, but I'm going to take Paxational. I got the 2 logicals on top, but I do like your case for the 5. Meet me at Mondays. All right, that's the first 5. The late pick 5 coming up after a quick break.
You bet with Naira Bets. Bet any track, anywhere, anytime. Download the Naira Bets app to play today and get a $200 deposit bonus. Watch live horse racing. Get expert picks. Boost your bankroll with weekly promotions and hone your handicapping skills with exclusive tips and tutorials. Download the Naira Bets app now. Sign up now to claim your $200 deposit match bonus. You bet with Naira Bets.
We're back. Sarah and Andy, talking horses. I don't know if I'm the first one to say it, but I'm going to be the first one to say it on this show. While Schwarzenegger is scratched, he'll be back. Just wanted to get that out there.
This is a field of great names, I thought. I went looking at it at first glance.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's
yeah.
really
I didn't really notice
you
that,
know
but
what?
that's
This is
good.
kind of fun.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, what are we doing here? Oh, let's show the replay of Augustinian. And I'll say one thing. Normally, this would be a massive bet against for me. But I don't know. It just seems like Barcassi, turf, dirt, doesn't matter. They all run, and I'm not going to take a big stand against this guy.
Looking at a race a couple of days ago and looking at the stat for his horses switching from turf to dirt, it wasn't good numbers for him, even with the 2-year-olds coming in. But they've run. They've shown up and they've run each time when they've been bet. They have run their race. And while a couple of them maybe a little bit over bet at times, I think that to take anything away from these horses making the surface switch and to rule this one out because of that stat that I originally was going to, you can't do it completely.
Right. The only thing I'll also say, though, is he was even money last time. He should have won that race. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not saying he ran badly, but he really should have won that race. I've got him in there. There's a lot of guessing going on in here. You have gone to the 4 Malice, who I do not like.
Yeah, I mean, you've touched on how the barn is not really showing up with firing all cylinders right now, but I think that just the experience edge that this horse has and having those blinkers added on, in addition to the speed that this
More
one,
desperation?
well, we'll see. It depends. Who knows? But at this stage of the game, having a race under your belt is so pivotal for some of these horses that I think even if you're not better than some of these first-time starters going forwards, it can just be enough to be able to get you that victory in here. And I just didn't think that he was going to be too short of a price.
Yeah, I hear you, and I think it's valid, and I may be on the wrong side in this one. But I don't love the fact that the dam's Lady Apple, and she won the fantasy, and she ran one time in the turf, but she didn't run it badly in the turf, but she's really a dirt horse. Todd really gave up on her fast. That I didn't love. It wasn't really as much about the Todd's horses not winning as much as I didn't. It could be that I'm making up a reason that because the horse ran well enough to compete in here. But you think about that Todd horse, and believe me, I wish the horse had won that ran second, the Lady Eli. Do you know what figure that race got?
No.
A 47. So if the Lady Eli foal turns out to be a good horse, it ain't going to be on the dirt. And maybe, listen, it's a credit to her that she won on the surface.
All
It's
right.
probably the wrong surface.
Oh,
But that race got
the
a
full
40.
Dr. Acne?
Yeah, that was got a 47. I mean, listen, you could see
Well,
that race was timed with a sundial.
Yes.
But it was a slow race. I don't listen. And then you've got final score on the rail, right? It's an expensive,
Bullet
not
work,
this
two
time.
back.
And I know the dam. Listen, the second dam is all turf, but they really buy this horse to run this horse on the turf first time. And I know they're on the
Well,
dirt now, but
I also don't know. It did originally look like we were going to have more rain than we actually ended up having this week, I thought, at first glance.
no, it
last
looked like
week.
we were going to
Really?
have no rain this weekend.
Oh, I thought it was going to rain every single day this week when I looked.
No.
All right, so
Saturday and
I'll
Sunday were supposed to be
trash
good.
my case of Todd Pletcher being that
Yeah,
creative.
this horse it
but
did not look like a washout because if it did, if it looked even remotely like a washout, I would have sent in off the turf videos. That would be
true.
the reason.
Yep.
As
You
you
are
know,
very attuned to that.
Right. So
Sometimes at 3 a.m.
when I don't have off the turf, it means that we were surprised by the rain. And listen, that doesn't mean the horse can't win, but
Yeah.
I thought it was just kind of odd in there in
I don't
general.
know. I
so
mean, just at least in the morning, this horse can clearly handle the dirt. It's a whole different ballgame in the afternoon, but I just thought that this horse, the one, would be. It's IRAD, it's Rapoli, it's the big work, best of 114 out of the gate. I thought that this would be the one to take some money.
Ray's horse that I picked here is Johnny, and we love that name. And Frank is hoping the horse wins so he can let out a "Here's Johnny"
And if he doesn't,
at
I'll
the
be
16th
disappointed.
pole. Wow, I mean, if you may eject him from the booth if he doesn't. And his horse is a turf horse, a full the world beat, or is it
World beater.
World beater who was second the other day in the Belmont Derby, and it may just be turf meant, but the Foster performances have run well in the dirt as well. And I thought it was interesting Ray left this horse in. Maybe his horse needs a race, but Flavian Pratt shows up on this horse, and I'll give him a chance and root for my buddy Ray. I don't have a big opinion.
I thought the 10 was the other interesting horse.
I wish that
in
horse
here.
had a little bit of dirt pedigree on the
I know.
damn side.
I will say at least the half-sibling Crown Imperial did win on the dirt.
But it's turf.
It is so much more turf
Raining
meant. I just thought that
flowers.
at this stage, maybe working well. Outside post in here, I never really liked the 2-year-olds as much as I don't like the inside post, though. So that's what led me to putting this one second.
No, I was going to have. I have a horse third. I mean, I was going to have. I think originally, I picked this horse high up last time. I'm with you. I wish this horse had more dirt pedigree, but you know what? Maybe it won't really matter that much. We'll see what happens. Race number 7. Another odyssey in race number 7 coming off the grass. You are going MTO shopping.
Well, I
Not that I
actually
blame you.
liked the 2, who's not going to play in here, but
You should thank Joe Sharp if you see him.
yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
I think
maybe, probably.
that Freesdale figure, the 70 this horse got first time.
I don't
that is a
necessarily
race that
think
has
that's
come
going to be
come apart
replicated.
since then.
I think that that's just a horse that he's taken a step forward at Coombe before, but he's not playing, so it doesn't matter. With Leo's Reward, he's just got the proven dirt form in here. I know there are a couple that have at least shown that they could show up and handle this surface. Rafua, I can't take this horse on top, even though he's gotten over some of his bad habits just a little bit more so than he had in the past, but at the same time, you can usually rely on him to finish second.
15 seconds, 7 thirds, and 3 wins. I agree with you, and he can win. Jose Ortiz is riding him. And I have no argument with either one of your horses, but as far as Van Vollenhoven, I worry a little bit that the pace could be fair in here, and it could work a little against him because he is a horse that's forward. This horse's races aren't that bad. He's run some good figures. He was involved in the pace. When Leo's Reward beat him that day, that was a day on February 14th when you wanted to be outside, and he was right down the inside dueling in there, so I thought he was badly compromised in there. He backed that up by coming back, and albeit at a short price, easily winning the next time. And I thought his last race was good enough to be close enough to compete with the favorites in here, and he'd be a better price, so I decided to put him on top. I don't have an argument against the 15 or 16. I think you're right. They're the logical horses, but I'm going to go with this one instead.
Yeah, I hear you. I just thought that the 1, the 8, they would both try to have some forward
No,
position in
there's
here.
there,
So
there.
we'll see.
Now he's outside of them, so he can stalk, and I'm
You
not.
know, who knows who's actually going to go or who's going to have a change of plans in here. But I just thought both of those horses could show some early
And
speed.
isn't Lil Lang going to take money because it's Flavian, and he's got decent enough form of the horses
He's at least
left,
shown he
and
can run a little bit on the dirt
yeah, I mean he's
before.
run a little bit. Do you really trust him going a mile
No,
on the
that
dirt?
was it.
Listen, it's Flavian. Nothing that happens will surprise me, but he doesn't. He's not my cup of tea in here.
I'm
though.
with you
Obviously
there.
Not impossible. Race number 8, a rare scheduled dirt race on today's card. So scheduled that we've got replays, so you don't have to look at our faces for a little while. Intermittent Fast, the horse you have on top, and the horse to beat. We'll take a look at this horse breaking. I think it's breaking the it's November 29th at Churchill, winning, not breaking the maiden, winning 3 back. So this is quite the dump job, no? And I've got the horse second. I think
The
he's
problem
the horse. She's the horse
is,
to beat, too.
well, you're absolutely right, and I don't think that this horse is going to be running an 80 buyer in here today. With the rest of this field,
Mike
who
Maker hopes she doesn't.
hasn't competed at a level like this before? There were only a couple of options for me, and I just thought that this horse overall, even when facing some tougher company in those starter allowance races, she just had the numbers that were a little bit better.
I have absolutely no argument with you. I think she's absolutely the horse
I
to beat in
really
this
wanted
race.
to make a case for Altered Shot. I just couldn't quite get there.
Well, the barn had a pretty crazy horse win here the other day.
That's true.
She is dropping. I have her third, and you have her second. I don't have a problem with Intermittent Fast. Should
Gone and
you know what?
forgotten.
We're going to blow off the other replay, Eddie. We don't really have any interest in that horse, if that's okay. I hate to wake you up. As far as the number 9, Gone and Forgotten, I just feel like she's in that race where I know that Killy Start didn't come back and run well, but Looks First did almost win out of that race where the horse wired the front end. She was, I don't know what went off. I don't know what went wrong early and why the steadying, she was already out of it when she steadied. I don't understand, and I just think she's better. And while I don't love big drop downs, Linda's numbers dropping down are pretty good. 50% drops in the dirt and sprints, 32 for 89, 36%, $2.03 ROI. So, they're getting bet, but they're winning.
She has dirt sprints that are just better. If you go back a couple of races, even when she was running against Montebello, I think that she was one that she has showed speed in that race to be a little bit more forwardly placed in there. I think that maybe you can make the case the mile, the wet track, not up to her liking the tougher field as
She
well.
ran a fast enough figure to compete in this race even with the shenanigans last time.
Yeah.
So it's not
Yeah.
like you have to stretch her and to say that she's got to run back to this or run back to that. To be honest, one of the biggest concerns I had was that she's dropping off a race that wasn't that bad an effort. That bothered me more than anything else. But Linda realizes to win race up here, she's got to drop.
You do have to be aggressive here more
She's-
so. So
and,
I get that. I don't know. I didn't feel like there was a lot going on in this race outside of those 3.
If you're at the card table with Linda Rice, there's a good chance you're the sucker because she is not. Race number 9, Governor Sam. Not only do we wish he was here, but I imagine Alex Bregman would like to make a trip to Saratoga now he's up in Boston. Our friend Reagan Swinbank. He is not able, obviously, to come for sort of obvious reasons, but like to see him do well. We'll take a look at this horse. And the Scratcher Grayscale, and we'll take a look at him in the juvenile turf sprint, actually running a very good third. It bothers me he hasn't won at short prices. It really does. On the other hand, he was off the turf last time, so I don't really care that much. But with a scratch to the 3, he's going to be very hard to beat.
And I think if you're against him, you could make the
I'm not
argument that
against
he and I just mean you,
Yeah.
the proverbial you, could make the case that he hasn't shown that he's taken a step forward as a 3-year-old yet, but he also has only had the one start on the turf to do so. It was off that layoff. He has early speed. He doesn't need to absolutely be in front here, I don't think. I think you can easily forgive the last race, and he didn't even run that badly in there.
Are we sure he's still, even if he hasn't improved, he's not good enough to win this race?
And that's also a fair argument as well. I think he's one that, yeah, if he doesn't take that step forward, it doesn't necessarily mean that he needs to. I think he's just found a field that, with what he's done already, he's shown that he's a little bit better than what we've seen from any of these horses so
He's the
far.
horse to beat. I got no argument. Let's take a look at Jet Sweep Joe, who Dylan Davis will be riding him in this race. I don't know what to do with this horse, right? Because this was a decent effort by him, going back to 5 furlongs. We went up to Canada. But the problem is, he did, what's interesting also is he's the one that dueled Governor Sam, no, wrong race. I apologize. Actually, he was
was
on the
in
pace
the-
that held together last time with Clock Tower.
He was in the
I-
Paradise Creek.
Right. No, he didn't duel in the Widow Walker.
Yeah.
It's Sunday. I'll use that as my excuse.
I used it already, so there we go.
Yeah, where did it come from? But I guess you could make a slight argument that his last 2 races have been real improvements. I mean, he was 50-1 2 back.
Well, don't you think
They
he has
ran a
to
good
go
fourth.
from the rail too?
He has to go. I don't think that Dylan's going to get, though, into a heated battle. I mean, they're always supposed to do the Rich Migliori, get your position going forward, right? I mean, and I think that's a valid argument. How hard he's going to push Governor Sam remains to be seen. Not an easy horse to get involved with. And the horse who might be, maybe be a little closer is No Evidence. We'll take a look at running second last time down at Gulfstream. I don't like that he lost at 1-5. I'll tell you that, Sarah.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And I think that he could be the one if they really wanted to. They maybe could be the speed of the speed in here if there are intentions to do so coming out of those 5 furlong sprints. But I do not like this last race where maybe it was just an experiment to try to have him at least sit off another horse. It didn't go well.
He's gonna have a problem if he's sitting off. He's gonna have a problem if he isn't sitting off here.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I've got him 4th, but
He can win. I just wasn't enthralled at what's going to be a sort of similar price. And the interesting horse is the one that you have on top.
Yeah, I mean the problem with the horse I have on top is we don't know if he's good enough to win. But I will say, his last race was strange because Flavien Prat is a rider you do not expect to be in surprising position, and he looked like a horse going to be forward. Clock Tower ended up wiring the field. He broke a step slow in there. He just really had no speed, but he was caught out
But then
wide.
he was nowhere.
There's a real argument, though, that the rail was the place to be that
Yes.
day. The second finish came up the rail, as well as the winner wiring the field. And he was so far out, 3, 4, 5 wide, that just nothing went right. So he's the kind of horse I want to give another chance to. He was 5-2 in that race last time. He'll be a bigger price. So while I'm not against Governor Sam in any capacity, I've got to take him on top as my alternative.
And I
That's it.
think that if somebody else does win this race, it'll probably be from a little bit off the pace.
Yeah, but the question, of course, is how much do we trust him off the pace? But he
Well,
was against the
I think
track
he was
last
just
time.
against the track. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's a fair point.
It's just I just wanted to give him one more chance, but I'm not against the favorite, and I look forward to see him run. Race number 10, off the turf at a mile. Go on, Eddie, you can do it. There you go. Wild Mischief. He hasn't given you enough evidence that he hates the dirt.
Well, I had 2 other horses ahead of this one, but they're not in here, so here we are.
Okay, but have at it.
I mean, look, there's not as much going on in here that I can really vouch for this horse with a lot of confidence
win. I'm
or
teasing
anyone at all whatsoever. I think that just
Or she can.
everybody kind of looks similar, and I want to see this horse not be as far back as she was in that race with the sloppy sealed surface where she was 11th early on at Aqueduct. I think that her races where she could at least get herself somewhat more involved. She's been facing better horses. I didn't really see a ton to go on here.
Anyone can get her to go forward. It's Flavian, but I got some questions whether or not, I was more, I mean, it was a tough race last time, and she did have some real trouble in that last race, to be fair. So, but I'm not.
She's not good, but nobody is.
No, right. No. I'm going to take Vino Samora to wire the field. I noticed this and circled this when I first looked at it, and then David said something. What price is that horse in your PPs on the formula you're looking at?
On Formulator
Last
for Vino
time out.
Samara,
Last time out.
14-1.
Yeah, it's 140 to 1 in the early PPs.
Oh, is
and
it?
I had seen it and thought, I thought this horse was kind of interesting last time, and I don't think he was 140 to 1, or she was, and based her PPs, she was 14 to 1. Some of you might have the 140 to 1. I don't know. I just think she's run fast enough. She's got to get the mile. But I thought
Yeah,
she'd be the speed.
she could be forward.
I think she's supposed to be in front. If Johnny isn't putting her in front, it means she didn't get out of the gate in here. And I got to be honest, there ain't a lot else going on in this race. I mean, I've got the 7 calling an audible, but she never wins. And
No, and
I mean, her
we've
last
seen
race
so much
was
of this horse
unbelievable.
already, and she's already been exposed in for the tag before. I couldn't go with her anywhere further up than I have her at 4th, and I don't love Savvy Sunset either. I know she's the main track only that does stay into this race, but it's not as though she has some edge on this group.
The horse that gave me a little interest, even though I have the top 4, was Trying to See Soho Nights. Problem is, this horse just did no running at all
Yeah.
last time out.
Yeah, and I mean, I wouldn't even blame anybody for going with the first-time starter in here either, a Tom Stata for Gary Contessa.
Do we work? My friend Steve just made a good point to me. I'm talking about the 2 being speed. Isn't Savvy Sunset probably going to be in front?
I think stretching out, there's a chance that they try to go, but you're right. She's shown
quick.
that she can be.
Yeah, that's a good point. Thank you, Steve. Keeping me honest here. We'll see. We'll see what happens in race number 10. Sarah, thank you very much. Thank you for watching. 10 races today. Glorious day here in Saratoga. It's not even supposed to rain, just as you're leaving. That was well timed yesterday. Head over to Naira Bets. Use the promo code SPA200. We'll match you with $200 of your initial deposit. Play any track, anywhere, anytime through Naira Bets. We have 30% bonus, I think capped at $20 on pick threes at Monmouth and Saratoga, if you want to opt in for that. I'm going to opt in on that right now. Cross country, 2 at Monmouth, 3 at Saratoga. This is Eddie's favorite thing. Eddie, I have a question. Are you a SantaCon participant? So
He
he's
just
never
needs
had the
an
opportunity,
opportunity.
which means
Okay.
if you're out there and you're looking for somebody to join you on SantaCon, Eddie's available, okay? So
I'll take
you
Eddie
can,
with me.
You can reach him through Sarah and I. We'll act as his agent, but he's looking for
I
a
would
friend.
love to be Eddie's agent for everything.
He's looking for a friend to invite him to SantaCon. So, Eddie, we got your back here on
You're
SantaCon.
not working, Eddie.
How
Come
about
on.
SaratogaCon, Eddie? You could probably use a few drinks during your day.
I'll take him
anyway,
around.
check out the
I
information
feel like
on that.
you've built up so much hype about Eddie that he's like this mysterious man behind the curtain that if we did bring him out and about, he'd be very popular.
You're not old like I am, so you're not aware of,
Yeah.
the Bob Newhart show where they had the doorman and you never met the doorman. They just had his voice. Anyway, you don't even watch Big Bang Theory.
I was going to say, it's like the teacher from Charlie Brown
Bob Newhart.
that you never see.
Wah, wah.
Yeah.
All right, what else we got? We're done with Saratoga, but if you hadn't drank enough there, you can head over and have some cocktails here too. But a lot of stuff, not just alcohol, but all sorts of stuff made in New York. Taste New York Pavilion, it's a fun time. Head over there every day, Thursday through Sunday. Wednesdays near Gate A in the Family Zone. And, yep, it's one of those days. Sorry. Mostly this is going to happen on some Fridays.
We did get back on
We did, but that doesn't help.
Friday. No, it doesn't help today. But
No,
I
mean,
will
it doesn't
say
help because if people don't know, I mean,
No.
it's a little. Anyway, 1 to 2:30 on FS1, 2:30 to 5 on the Naira YouTube station on our Naira thing, and 5 to 6:30 to close it out on FS2. Thanks again. Frank Miramati is warming up, and he's ready. He's got his fastball today. I already spoke to him. He's geared up for the day. Have a great day in Saratoga.
You bet with Naira Bets. Bet any track, anywhere, anytime. Download the Naira Bets app to play today and get a $200 deposit bonus. Watch live horse racing. Get expert picks. Boost your bankroll with weekly promotions and hone your handicapping skills with exclusive tips and tutorials. Download the Naira Bets app now. Sign up now to claim your $200 deposit match bonus. You bet with Naira Bets.